previously in part 1.
There have been a lot of questions going through my head, like, I don't know if Jeff is a good person, speaking to people the right way. I don't know if he should be swearing. I don't know how comfortable I feel being part of a group that says we want to love people, but the way that I love them is abusing them. And he justifies it by saying, I'm calling out their fear consciousness. Attack isn't real. Okay, exactly. They're a hater. They're a hater. We're haters. If we say a truth that you don't agree with, we're haters. And that's what I didn't like, that people couldn't make new choices. And if that new choice wasn't Twin Flames Essential School, it was wrong. It was absolutely horrible. You're choosing fear. You're choosing separation. We don't want to block them. And they make it seem like it's a suggestion. It's a requirement for you to block other people, because Jeff is going to be less favorable to you if they know that you are communicating with someone who's left the group, because it's going to see that you're more persuaded out of the group. And why would that matter?
Continuing part 2 of the interview.
Excuse you, like, it's it was too much control. It was too much control. And I because I studied psychology, I saw the ways in which, if I allowed myself to be persuaded into the whole entirety of the group, that slowly, I would lose my family members because they don't believe in lose my friends because they don't believe in twin flames, and slowly I would just do ascension coaching all day because I need to make money. And maybe I'd have like a job that didn't interfere with my discussion group, and all I would have in my life would soon be twin flames essential to be truly doing the work, in order to be truly getting the results, which is what they were saying. But these people, it just seemed like when I was having these media meetings, even if it wasn't Jeff and Shaleia speaking, they were using the same words. It felt like they were recreating Jeff and Shaleia and somebody else. And I was like, people are losing their autonomy. You are just becoming copies of Jeff and Shaleia. And I want to see who you are in Twin Flames Ascension Group, not who Jeff and Shaleia are. We are literally just regurgitating them every single time. We're losing our sense of self. And maybe that's me wanting to hold on to my ego. I don't hate Jeff. I think Jeff, in his own way, has many loving qualities, but he also has many hateful ones. And it's that duality that he won't accept, that yes, there is fear in the world and there is also love. And is it a choice? It isn't, and choosing either does not make you a terrible person, it makes you a human being. And that way that he wants to sort of create this superiority. Okay, sorry. And I guess when that, so back to what I was saying about coaching with Summer. So I'm speaking to my coach and I'm saying, Summer, Jeff confirmed that I had met my twin flame. He told, I posted very publicly on the Twin Flames Open Forum, this is my twin flame. And it had been posted on the Twin Flame newsletter. And they wouldn't post that unless Jeff also in his own head felt that that was also my twin flame, right? So I'm thinking, he was also, this is his business, this is his brand. He wouldn't post things that didn't prove that the work was working, right? And so I was thinking, but it didn't feel completely right to me. I was like, this guy feel completely right. I don't feel completely loved in this situation. Some people would say, but it was just, tiny micro things, he would shout, we didn't agree, constant conflict. And because I was in this group, I kept thinking, oh, these are blocks. This is something wrong with me. This is something wrong with me. Because the mirror exercise forces you to always take responsibility, even for actions that don't belong to you. And that's just not the way the world lives. Like, that's not how it works. And so I said I thought somebody else was my twin flame. And that really upset Sama, my coach. She was like, no. Would Jeff lead you astray? I was like, but isn't it God? Why would Jeff She's like, yeah, but Jeff wouldn't confirm if it wasn't true. I was like, Jeff is a human being. Jeff is another man who also came into this world, who's also figuring it out. He is not Jesus. How does Jeff know if my individual spiritual experience, tells me who I love? My love is specific. I don't understand why Jeff loves Shaleia. Jeff understands why Jeff loves Shaleia. So I can only see it from and accept that, okay, their love is genuine, or whatever, and they tell me that they love each other, and that's how I know, by what I see and what I feel. And he sort of said that he'd been trained by some twin flame gurus in the past that had actually led him and Shaleia through this process. And why does his name start off as Jeff Ender and then it's Jeff Divine? What is your real name, Jeff? Please tell me that. What is Shaleia? What is your real name? What is your real name? I mean, I'm not bothered. This video is really for people to just think about the things that I noticed and question yourself. If you're curious why someone needs to change their name 4 times, if they are living their truth, right? Because people who live their truth need to change their names, clearly. Also, you can obviously, when you watch the videos, they must have had a traumatic family background, right, Jeff and Shaleia? And I'm not going to do any sort of armchair psychology because I'm not a trained professional. But obviously, there's something that causes me to question, why have we never seen Jeff and Shaleia's friends? Where are they? Apart from the group and the company they've created, who are their friends? Who are the outside people that exist in their lives apart from each other? Because I find that problematic when you are looking at wanting to follow someone and their only life is the business and you. And we have the mansion that they lived in through other people's pain, whatever, their dream house, because we see them in a video in a room with a little desk to begin with, right? So all of this wealth and smashing goals and hustle culture and working hard that they so claim to have reached has been on the work of people like us who did the work for free, who advertised for free for them, thinking that we were going to get something that they were getting. But the actual truth of the whole thing is we were funneling their life. And it's not to say that all they care about is money, but it's a huge part of it. I mean, so I told Sorry Upset, I said that I felt I had a different twin flame. And she's saying that Jeff really believes, that Jeff wouldn't have confirmed. So I'm starting to feel uncomfortable. I get a new marketing job in central London. I think I just need some space from this twin flames thing. And I cancel my subscription. And that's when hell broke loose. I canceled every single subscription to the Temple of Heaven, my friends. To the Temple of Heaven, no more. I was just like, I will find my own little Buddha cross. I'll make my own shrine. I don't need this. And but you know what? I thought, I've already paid for this month. So since I've already paid for this month, I'll watch the videos until the end of the month, and then I'll see how I feel. And if I still feel like I don't want to keep the videos, I will completely cancel it, or I will confirm that. But I'd already paid for that month. So since I'd already paid for that month, I can't log in anymore. And I'm thinking, why can't I log in? So I message admin like, hey, I can't log in anymore. I've already paid for this month. What's going on? They're like, yeah, but you canceled your subscription. And I said, yeah, but I've already paid for this month. My subscription should technically end in 30 days. So if you're happy to take my login then, fine, but I've paid for the service. So they were like, yeah, but your spiritual contract. I was just like, no, I didn't sign. That money is 3D money. I need to see some 3D videos, not some spiritual. I was like, this is no, I'm not having this. So I started a dispute on PayPal. I was like, I'm completely within my right. If the service that you're offering are videos, then I should get videos. I don't care about your spiritual community. Block me if you want, but I paid for the videos. Um, and they were not having that. They're like, no, no, no. And then the head honcho finally messages me on Facebook, Jeff, Ray, why are you running? George was watching the videos, the classes before you cancelled. It's not a subscription, it's a membership with a payment plan. And I said, well, George, who was my supposed confirmed twin flame, I said, if he likes it, then he should definitely get his own account. Irregardless, I paid for the month and my account has been suspended, which is illegal. I paid for a service. And if you don't honor the legal agreement through PayPal, I will deal with PayPal through it. And I was very calm. He was just like, Ray, why are you so afraid? What happened? You were so close to having it all, and then you shut your heart up altogether. Is this? I was like, excuse you. This is when I was getting triggered because I was having a very nice day. I was having a very nice day. I just want my money back. I'm not trying to upset you and your cult, sir. Just give me my money. I will leave. I don't want to cause any trouble. You can't take no for an answer. And then I said, please, like, I will send you these screenshots, of course. I said, no, I wish you all the wealth and happiness. I just want my money. And he said, I only go where God calls me. And in doing so, I never waste my time. I said, well, where do I hang up? I was feeling a bit upset. Because he was pushing me. I made it very clear I'm not interested. Like, I've made my intentions very clear. I don't want to fight, sir. I just want my money. Just be on your way, good Samaritan. And he says, is this who you desire to become? Someone who denies love and lives in hell. I was in a fancy apartment in Victoria. He does not know where I live. So at that time, that was not hell. That was actually very luxurious for some people. And I'm not, it's the way that he kind of wants to put you in this psychological place of hating yourself for not wanting to be in TFAS. It wasn't working. And that's when he sort of suddenly started to push. God is peace. I am peace. I am giving you love. I am giving. Don't you feel I love you? I'm not here to harm you. Constantly, I want to offer you love. Why don't you feel love? What did I? I'm not separate from God. I am God. And it was constant. It was constant. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Stop running. I was like, what? What is this? And then I got eventually, I was just like, I understand my power in God. I will continue even without you. And he's like, that's good. This is what I teach. I was just like, help those that care about you and your message. And then he was just like, you care, Ray. I was just like, I'm clearly telling you I don't care. Like, I'm clearly. I was like, these are the tactics that he chooses. And someone else who's weak minded, who's just going to accept, oh, you know what, I do care, you're right, I do. I am choosing hell, you're right, I am. You will eventually go back into like, yes, okay, where's the block? You're right, Jeff. I wasn't loving myself there. I was trying to blame someone else. I knew that that's what he wanted. People work crazy hours. The people at the top of gaming work like they don't sleep. The amount of hours required to make it, yeah. And that's why when he put up this on Facebook, I was very like, gosh, the company must be doing very well if they're going to pursue gaming, because I was very aware of the kind of manpower it takes to create a game. And so when I don't know who he thinks. Who does he think he's playing with? Who does it? Honestly, this guy, you've got to admire his confidence. You've got to admire the fucks he chooses to like push. He's such an interesting guy. Like, I've got to give it to him. He's an interesting guy. And so at this point, I do get my money back from PayPal. So I'm thinking, you know what? I'm done with this. I don't need to start a hate campaign. I don't need to go on YouTube or anything like that. I don't need to, because people at this time had found out I left and they were trying to get me to join, like oh, people are doing this and they're talking about Jeff and Shaleia. And I felt, just as I left the group, I don't want to respond emotionally to this. I don't want to respond in a way where I'm going to say things that clearly show that I have a problem with Jeff and Shaleia, because I honestly don't have a problem with Jeff and Shaleia. The problem that I have with them is the fact that they don't see that they are flawed in the methods that they choose, and the fact that they don't accept any criticism. And that creates an echo chamber where if all you hear is your own teachings, and then people also repeating back your own teachings, and then when you get something that's not your own teachings, it's like, no, this isn't right. It means that you can't grow. It means you stay in a stagnant place of not really evolving as a human being. And, they can say, oh, well, it's working. Well, so did Harvey, Weinstein. So did Bill Cosby. So did Jeffrey Epstein. They had millions, did they not? Mansions upon mansions. He had a private island. Jeff, you can get your own private island and still be a cult leader. That doesn't mean you don't run a cult. It doesn't. And you're talking about it as if I'm taking any kind of responsibility. And I've seen the hater video. Really, I think it's just he's having delusions of grandeur. And I think it's a way to show off, look at this house I have. Look at how much I don't care about you haters. You're sad I've got a swimming pool. You're upset I've got this. Look, exactly. You gave us the screen. You did that for us. If you don't care, if your life is so good, why are your only friends your followers? The people that you lead. Why is that? What happened in your history, in your past? And I think I didn't understand Jeff's connection with money until I saw him weep for a whole hour on one of those the recorded shows where it's like Jeff just weeps. And I wanted to appreciate the emotionality he chose to share with the group. That's a sensitive moment, but he was crying because he'd overcome some sort of financial block, right? And it made me feel I had to shut the screen for a minute. I was like, wait, is this what? I was like, okay, that's what we're doing today. Okay. And I don't know the right way. I'm not a spiritual guru. I will not claim to be. But I got my money back, and I'm speaking my story because I don't like the way that Jeff speaks to people. I think that he should take that on board. I think he should also take on board the fact that just because someone doesn't choose to pay your program doesn't mean you're wrong. There are plenty of fitness programs. Doesn't mean that you don't fantasy workout. That must mean you're choosing fear. No, the world is meant to be plentiful and bountiful, so says the Bible, and full of many different choices. If there was only one choice, we'd be a very boring human race. And the reason that you created your so-called school is by picking the ideas of others who came before you, people who thought that their truth was the absolute truth. Did Buddha, did Jesus, did Gandhi, did they not think that their truth was the only one? Of course they did, at a time. We also thought that the earth was flat at a time. And it's that concrete, this is the only truth that exists, that is going to damage their business. And eventually it will falter by itself. I'm not here to tear it down. It's a very good pyramid scheme. And I can see how it works. And the people at the top stay at the top because they get the most benefits, because they're the most easiest to manipulate. They've got the least amount to lose. And the people that have real lives and real families are usually the ones that end up leaving the group more readily than others because they're able to essentially easier. And I'm not calling anybody weak who's in the group because, who's to say that the group isn't helpful to some people? It probably is. But what I don't agree with is the one thing that, come on, Jeff, if you're watching this, if you're watching me ever, if you ever see this, What the fuck is harmonious twin flame union? What the fuck is that? Like, really? Really, really? What is it? Because it seems like the exact that the people were experiencing before. But what they get is this weird buzz for a minute that, oh, my spiritual teacher has given me this sort of spiritual place that I'm at now. But you're still healing blocks. Well, what's the difference? Was, people say constantly, getting married doesn't prove the success of your marriage. And the reason they say that is because everything takes work. There is no such thing as a perfect union or a harmonious union or a perfect life. The perfect life is the life that you keep living and creating and growing. And it's not about this one stagnant point in your life where you're just like, now I've achieved it, now I have everything. And why are you the only person that can confirm it? Why are you and Shaleia the only people that can confirm it? Why is it that the people that have achieved it, why can't confirm it for us now? Why can't other people who've obtained this now be given that gift of being able to see it in other people? It's sort of pyramid scheme where they will always be the ones that lead. They will always be the ones that you have to look to. But who's regulating them? It's just the whole government versus the state thing of the people in power don't get questioned, right?
All right, everyone, that concludes part 2 of this interview. I want to thank everyone who has stuck around to watch these interviews and hear the story of Ray and her process through TFU and dealing with not only some of the coaches in Twin Flames Universe, but also her interactions personally with Jeff when it came to canceling her membership. There will be a part 3. There also might be a part 4, just depending on how long these interviews run. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Once again, I've also included resources that I definitely think that a lot of you guys should check out. There is even an article that has recently come out within, I want to say, the past few weeks of an ex-member who has left TFU, who, if I can recall correctly, was part of the LGBT plus community. And she expresses a little bit of her story as to why she left in an article she wrote, and I will post that down below, along with some other resources. I do thank you guys once again for tuning in to this video, and I hope you guys are staying safe, as well as taking your care of yourself mentally and physically. And I will see you guys later. Peace out.